Y'all don't have to say nothing. I know. I'm late. That's on me. That's on me. I was eating beef liver, and that's like my favorite meat to eat. So I kind of got lost in the sauce, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to stream like 5 minutes ago. Oopsie. But yeah, I had a really good dinner. I had dinner before stream, so I'm sat. I'm sit sat. Hello, hi. Are we guys excited for today? Do you guys even know what's going on? Probably not. We're playing an ultimate game. Yippee! Another ultimate game! Yay! I'm really like ultimate focused this week. I don't know what it is. I think it's like I've been craving for it. So yeah. Me too. I'm worried because it seems like the tickets get eaten up so fast. Wait, tickets? What were you guys talking about? Oh, the wizard game. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they really do go fast. I haven't gone. I only played like the first chapter, of course, but I realized like, oh, it's only for 5 parts. 80 divided by 5. That's like, I don't know, more than 10 times. I can't do math on the spot. Less than 20, like 16 or something, probably. And I'm just like, that's concerning. It's not enough. Yo, hi. I saw this game before and I've been curious about it. I have a public holiday, so I can join stream public holiday. Lucky. I had a public holiday on Monday. That was pretty much it. Monday, all I did was like do chores because I had chores. Oh yeah, and edit the vlog. All right, you know how I said like I wanted the vlog to be like 20 to 40 minutes? That's not happening. it's gonna be like an hour. Sorry guys, I apologize. Also TikTok, hi Sky, I know you exist. It's just like the chat is not showing up, so I'm gonna help you out here for a sec so everybody can see you. I'm gonna just spam A. That's what I do. It's a bit maddening. I'm going to run into a spot where I'm going to be forced to stop and wait for tickets to generate. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, there you go. Now you show up. Let's go. I might low-key get a haircut today because my bangs keep irritating my eyes. See, I got bangs one time and I hated it. I was like, I look like a dork. I don't want this. No, I've always been like not like a no bang girly, but like long curtain bangs. Long curtain bangs. The ones I have on my model aren't that long, are they? Huh. But they're not like bang bangs, right? Actually, do I even know what bangs are like? I just don't like them like on my forehead. That makes sense. This is why I prefer just buying my ultimate games. Yes, me too, bro. Mobile games are for the people that don't have money, but they have time. Unfortunately, I have money now. I'm grown up. Yippee! I could buy whatever I wanted since I was, things that I wanted since I was little. But I do not have the time. So when I was little, I made my own bangs, and it's terrible. Yeah. Maybe that's why I didn't like them, because I was little and I got my own bangs and it didn't look out that good. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about the game that we're gonna play today, because I realized it's like 8:14 where I'm at, and I'm like, ooh, gotta get started. So this game is called Crimson Waves on the Emerald Sea. Actually, let me cut to the starting scene so you guys know what I'm talking about. Right? Let's get that started. Is it this one, or do I have to do? Oh wait, no. Maybe it might not capture it. Maybe not. We will see. We'll see. If it's a black screen, I have to fix it. Oh, it's not. Yippee! Do you guys hear the music? It's kind of like quiet. It's piano. I might get wispy bangs because my bangs too thick. B, my forehead is huge. Okay, back to streaming. B, my forehead is no. Honestly, though, valid points. Also, I really like wispy bangs too. Kind of looks like Tumblr art. This? Wait, does it look too big? Hold on. I need a... Man, I gotta make this thing smaller so I can see what you guys are seeing, because it's not working out right now. Hold on. Can this window be skinnier, please? Por favor. Please, please, please. Okay, no. Alright, that's the best I can do. Alright, that's fine. That's fair. At least I can see chat then. No offense to the artist. I like Tumblr art. Tumblr art is always good. This art also reminds me of like one of my first Ultimate games I played on my PC, and I really liked that. So like, I'm looking forward to this because usually the writing with this type of art is like top notch. And it's enjoyable. Also, the CGs are really nice and pretty. That's what I'm expecting. I don't actually know how the CGs look yet. But yeah, I can hear it. Perfect, perfect. I'm just gonna make it a little louder because I think my voice is like, maybe I should make myself quieter. That's what I should do. All right. I think like this type of volume is good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be good. If it's too quiet, let me know. Alrighty. What are we gonna do? He looked like Harry Potter, the one with the glasses. Bro, any white boy with round glasses, immediately Harry Potter. Truly, they cannot escape. he's that iconic. He has done damage to the white boy round glasses agenda or something like that. Anyways, Crimson Waves on the Emerald Sea, Amaranthine Moon. Let me just Google how to pronounce that because I'm not really the person to know. Pronunciation. Say it. Amaranthine Moon. Amaranthine Moon. Ooh. It means the color of amaranth. What is that? I don't know what is it? Green. Oh, so Crimson Waves on the Emerald Sea and the Amaranthine Moon. So blue, green. Okay. Works for me. That dude has green eyes. Maybe he's really important. Who knows? We have purple eyes. Or the MC has purple eyes. Anyways, this is a vampiric Victorian Ultimate about love and lost time. Determined to make her own destiny as she turns 18, the young head of her family, Lucy, plunges headfirst into the cunning world of business dealings. Actually, maybe I should stop reading that. We'll get into it. Anyways, it's vampires, and there's 3 love interests, as you can see, and there's multiple endings depending on your choices, and there's over 70k words in this vampiric Victorian intrigue. Let's go. I don't know, should we be vampire or human? All right, start. Oh. I've always wondered how slow time feels for adult vampires. Oh, someone cheered me, right? Thank you. Thank you, you had me at Victorian era vampires. Yeah. Honestly, I'm a really big fan of gothic lately. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of gothic art and stuff like that here. I'm looking forward to it. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Don't eat any cake. No cake. Is that what you guys think when it comes to the Victorian era stuff? Okay. But yeah, I always wondered how slow time feels for adult vampires. You know what? Good thing to worry about. I also too should wonder about that, honestly. For the fleeting time I was a vampire as a child, it was like a never-ending summer afternoon. Some days I could play the day away with no heed for the time. I could explore every room in the manor thrice over, running from every corner to the next. I love the background art here. Other days, the hours slinked by, every second dripping by slower than the last. Even the shades couldn't shield the manor from the oppressively sticky heat of summer. Every step felt slower than the last. But for adults, is it that same feeling of being stuck indoors during the longest summer day of the year? Or is it more akin to sitting in a backed up doctor's office, or watching the fire crackle during the first snow of year, or waiting on a train that's forever delayed? Chat, I roast Ella if they're goofy. I mean, feel free to do so. I do that sometimes. You know, sometimes they deserve it. No bigots or tea, Rose. Okay. Didn't you die whenever you ate cake in the last Vampire Ultimate game you played? Oh yeah! I forgot they had vampires in it. To be honest, I was so focused on the murder mystery part that I forgot that the dude who fed us cake was a vampire and our butler was a vampire. Kinda, yeah. Hopefully there's no cake though. But it's annoyingly introspective thoughts like this that creep their way in, as I have nothing to do but watch the grandfather clock tick closer and closer to the half-hour mark. A whole half hour I've sat here waiting for nobody apparently. All of the cordial letters and handcrafted gem samples I'd been sent were a sham or a prank. Once we agreed to meet in person to finalize the business proposal, he hightailed it elsewhere. What? Who? I clenched the body of my dress. The clock chimes in mockery of me. She got stood up? No! Not even a servant has so much as entered the room or hallway to inform me of his tardiness. As the grandfather clock chimes echoes in the room, I glance outside. The day is almost over, but there's still some daylight left. Time better spent outside than in here. I ease my shoulders, promptly standing, and I leave. Oh, look at us! We're so cute! Can you guys see it? No, my head's blocking it. Alright, so here's the options. Save, history, settings, skip, and auto. Of course we can't skip though, because we just started the game, but yeah. Just know that that's right behind my head. Or actually, maybe I should move myself here. I don't know if there's gonna be portraits, but I'll move myself here for now. Because I think as long as I don't move my head too much like crazy, I won't be blocking any words. Yippee! Okay. Actually, I could afford to move a little that way. Yeah. Okay, there we go. The nerve of him to gush about how interested he was in my business proposition, to boast about how perfectly handcrafted his gems were, only to stand me up. If another letter from him arrives, I'm tossing it in the fireplace. You know what, girl? True, kill it, clock it. Whatever. Yeah, I stand with you. I trudge down an alleyway, not wanting to hit the crowds walking down the main street in the broad daylight. At this time of day, the sun feels its brightest, and the most headache-inducing. The back alleys, however, are always a pleasant source of shade in an area of town devoid of trees. The shade is perfect on a hotter day like this. But they're also perfect for hiding people. Her name is Lucy, by the way. A darkened figure tags along about a block length from me. I skip to another alley. He follows. I press against the wall as I pass by a few workers in another alley. Turning it at an intersection when I'm obscured behind them, he still follows. Ah! I'll have to do something more drastic. What's this game about? Vampires. I double back to the first alley, making a long circle, well, square, to get there without running into him. The stairwell of the building just out just enough to hide myself with, so I lay in wait there for my pursuer. No one appears from around the corner. Maybe he gave up already? I lean forward to look down the alleyway, but something tugs on my hair ribbon. Hey! What do you think you're doing, Nemo? Giving chase? Looks more like you're running around and up to no good. You're no fun. What are you doing out so early? I went in to check on things and nobody was around. I skipped past him. She's so tsundere a little bit. Hey! Come on, I want dinner. He didn't show up, did he? Oh, she's okay. He must have thought he was too good for my offer. He'll see he can't get far without help. I grit my teeth. I can feel Nemo looking at me with pity. Alright, let's go home. I turned my back to grab his arm, but instead I met with a hand pushing down my head. Hey! Sorry he was a no-show. You'll find a better fit soon. Just don't try to rush these things. It's not like I'm gonna kick you out. You don't even own the place, you moocher. I'm not a moocher. What's his is mine. That's how marriage goes. Oh, for someone who avoided commitment like the boogeyman, he sure is bragging about it a lot now. Now come on, let's go home. He lends me an arm, leading us out of the alleyway. Are we married? I'm confused. Who's married? Who are you married to? The floorboards creak underneath our feet as we step down the hallway to our flat. Darkened wood lines every wall, making the space feel shades darker than it actually is. Most of the other residents should be home by now, winding down for the day. But more so than the sounds of our footsteps, the melody of a violin premates through the hall. Premates? I know what it means. I don't know how to say it. I've only read that word. It's soft and cautious, yet each note more carefully than the last. You can practically imagine someone reading from sheet music while playing the notes. There's something a bit relaxing about it. Not overwhelmingly loud, but rather something that rested into the background. The piece echoes through the walls, making it hard to tell where it's coming from. As we near our own flat, though, the notes stop. I sigh to myself that we won't be able to hear it at dinner. Amber Rose! Oh! I'm sorry to hear about that. I heard so many good things about him. He's the jeweler who made my brooch in Graverts, after all. Maybe something urgent came up? I'm sure you'll hear from him in the next day or two. How dare he! Sending all those buttery letters only to stand you up. CL. Ooh. You act like it was a marriage proposal. It's a serious crime, that's what it is. He shook a little bit. He's serious about it. It's not that either. It's a nuisance. I stabbed the pork chop on my plate. They're all suddenly more interested in eating their own meals. The food is rather good, thanks partially to the cooking classes Amber Rose is taking, but it just doesn't sit well with me. Not tonight. Eat quickly, leaving a little under half of it still on the plate before heading to my room. Cecil? Oh, not C. Oh, sorry, Black Butler stuck in my head. Cecil. Alright. Moonlight slinks through the blinds and across the floorboards. It bounces off of my mirror just right to hit my eyes. I must have fallen asleep right after dinner. I don't usually take naps so late in the day. I push myself up on my bed, rubbing my eyes. It may be nighttime now, but I don't think I was asleep for very long. I can hear noises from the other room, so Nemo and Amber Rose are still awake. Something on my nightstand glints out of the corner of my eye. It's my bottle of pills. A modern marvel of medicine to some and an expensive hoax to others. Emeralds refined to the size of a pill have been found to be a cure for vampirism, effectively negating a vampire's heightened abilities and their dependence on blood. Oh! But doesn't that mean you'll still live forever then? At the right size, they can be digested and dissolved into a person's body. Any larger, and they can be poisonous to vampires who are weak to precious gems. Oh. Taking pills regularly can turn any person, no matter how long they've been a vampire, back into human. But only if they keep up the intake on a regular basis. Oh. Okay. I'm liking this lore. While they're not a perfect cure and are rather expensive to acquire at a small scale, they are an effective one. I haven't had to drink blood in years. But I also haven't had the use of my heightened physical abilities in years. Look, I don't care what you do as an adult. If you want to be a vampire, then fine. But I want you to wait until you're old enough to make that decision before all your friends start aging faster than you. Turning 18 this month. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. I don't need my brother to keep looking out for me. Oh, we can choose right here and then? Alright, audience. What do you want? Do you want us to be still a vampire, or do you want us to be human? What would you do in this situation? She looks like Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Oh, because of the blonde hair. Drugs. Take the pill. Okay. We're gonna do the drugs, guys. We're doing drugs. We're gonna pop some emeralds. Pop the pills. Human, take the pill. Okay, everybody. I'm surprised. I thought you guys would say still be a vampire. But okay, we're gonna take the pill. I screw off the top and drop a tiny emerald. Wait, hold on. Can we go back? History. Oh no, we can't go back. Once it's done, it's done. Okay, let me save then here. Okay. Pills look like peas, yeah. I mean, we would die before our man, whatever. Yeah, we would die, but we get to have like a normal lifespan, I guess, quote unquote normal. Also another thing. Is there a lot of ultimates out there with like an MC who's a vampire? I feel like no, right? So if we stayed vampire, it would be interesting to see why. I screw off the top and drop a tiny emerald pill into my palm. It's small enough to go inside a ring. Instead, I pop it into my mouth. I may have been a vampire for a brief time, but I'm fine staying human for a little while longer. I'm not ready to age slower than everyone else just yet. Take one last glance at the bottle as I stand. There are many people still skeptical about the treatment, but Mr. Douglas was fascinated by it. I know Blood and Roses, the witch MC can turn into a vampire. Really? Oh. But has anybody... Because, like, there's a lot of... Okay, so with Vampire Ultimate games, you always, like, you always start as human and then become a vampire. But you never start as a vampire and stay as a vampire, or start as a vampire and then become human, you know? It's always the guy that's doing that. Right? Unless, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's an Ultimate game out there, I'm interested. But, yeah. Precious gems have long been a dangerous poison for vampires, despite their staying power and ornate jewelry. The thought of using them for medicinal purposes rather than for looks or for harm intrigued him. Or so I thought. Him standing me up today was the final nail in that coffin. I shouldn't spend the rest of the early night hours sleeping, or else I'll mess up my sleep schedule. Game said Uno reverse, yeah. I'm gonna be real, I would hate to be immortal. I want to be... Well, maybe I don't want to be immortal, but I do want to be, like, at a certain age for a long period of time before I start, like, growing old and, like, things don't, like, work as they used to. So I can, like, do everything that I want. And I have all the time in the world to do it. And then when I'm done doing whatever I want, I can go back to being mortal and growing old. Ideally, that's what I think is best. Also, I just realized I put chat all the way over here. There's no reason for you guys to be here. I'm gonna put you guys right over here. That should be good. Okay. Nemo and Amber Rose are in the parlor as I figured. Nemo has hogged all of the candles and minimal lights and looks deep in concentration on fixing the radio. Despite the low lighting he left with, Amber Rose is reading the newspaper with his vampiric sight. He doesn't have to strain to read it. Whoa, reading in the dark, let's go! Also, I love the backgrounds. It's like very oil pastel-y. A favorite aesthetic of mine. Still, I don't want to be the third wheel the rest of the night. I step out on the balcony. Oh. I didn't see you were out here. No, it's alright. Cecil scrambles to his feet, eager to get up off the concrete floor. So, how are you doing? How do you think I'm doing? I can't believe that man standing you up like that. We ought to tarnish his name. Tarnish his name? Hey, yo. I haven't heard that one before. He'll tarnish it himself in due time, acting like that. Besides, I'm not sure how you of all people would even go about doing something like that. Oh. I'll find someone else to work with on it. Maybe I'll reach out to doctors and again to gain more public approval before reaching out to manufacturers. I'm sure you can, Lucy. And besides, you always make Nemo chase after new leads. I think he chased them off more than help. He has enough work to do around campus, but he's insistent on going with me to every business meeting, party, and more. I can't tell if he fancies himself my bodyguard or my chaperone. It's not even his family business. Though, speaking of which, you'll be dealing with all of this soon enough. Eh? Do you think your family never has to renegotiate anything? That their mining privileges are set in stone? That their workers never ask for pay increases or more benefits? That their merchant deals are lifelong? Oh shoot, we're getting very businessy here. Hold on, let's lock in a little bit. Soon you'll be going, oh Lucy, how did you handle all of this? You're so brave to start so young. I already say that. He huffs, turning back to the night sky. For the past few years, he's had little contact with his parents, no more than greeting cards and letters. He's forced to write to them just to show he's alive. Instead of living at their manor several hours away by train, he's lived here to attend school at the kindness of Amber Rose. Most of our classes are together, as we're both focusing on business, so we can take on our family's companies. And yet sometimes I feel like it's hard to get a proper answer out of him when I inquire about his plans for the future. Chin up, you'll get to shadow a local business soon enough. You're lucky you don't have to do that. I've got plenty of real-world experience. They'll only let me count in towards classwork rather than letting me finish school early, though. Lucy? His voice is small and short, cutting off his own words almost as quickly as they left him. What is it? Nothing. What? Then why bring it up? I hate when people do this. I reach over and pinch his ear. Ow! It's not nothing if it came to you, so spit it out. It was just stupid. It was just stupid thought, but I was wondering if this is what you really want to do. Again, his words drift off the longer he talks. It is. I've had to live off others' generosity for too long. People will think they owe it to my parents to keep me safe. I want to forge my own path going forward. I want to prove I can be on my own. And what does that say about me? Huh? I'm sure you'll find a good business partner before long, Lucy. After a moment, it's clear he intends to leave the conversation at that. Cecil's family is from newer money, having made their living from mining operations for precious gems. Oh, so she's old money, and he that new. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm understanding now. Very recently, I learned about old money and new money, so this makes sense to me. While his ancestors may have sweated it out in the mines, the current generations live by signing deals with property owners, negotiating labor work, refining the gems, and more. The idea of an opportunity has not been lost on me. Cecil's in trouble? I think he's just really shy, and he's like worried about his future. I mean, some spicy konjac snack, and every time I eat it, my throat feels like wildfire. I've had konjac before, but spicy konjac? Huh. I don't think I've made it. No, I don't. I gotta try it. I don't know if I'll like it though. Yeah, I'm playing a vampire game. Yeah. Nemo like the fish. Everybody's saying Nemo for like Finding Nemo. Yup. That's him. Yup. Okay. Back to the start. Every time I bring it up or even mention it, however, he lets the conversation drop. At least it's nice. At least it's a nice night out here, isn't it? I match his gaze. Far beyond the rooftop, stars dot the sky above us. They shine back at us, vibrantly, almost twinkling. I I don't want to be so dependent on others anymore. I just want to build something myself. You'll get there one day, Queen. For all the prestige and respect they hold, the towering spires of Pre-Dux University do nothing to keep the sun from my eyes. Okay, the morning glare is so consistent and forceful that most students go out of their way to take the long way around to the east entrance to avoid it. You would think the sun could be a more considerate and less intrusive given the number of vampires working and learning on campus. As for Cecil and myself, we often avoid the problem entirely by winding through the gardens and taking shortcuts that only make sense when you're setting out from the headmaster's apartment. How infuriating! I should be drafting contracts and celebrating now. A rough sigh escapes me, more of a sign of exhaustion than anything I'm expecting out of the day ahead. My classes will provide a moment's distraction at the very least. I need to keep my focus sharp and find another prospect quickly. In the future, once Cecil takes over his family's business, we can form a partnership and build a more secure chain of supply. There's no chance of that while his father's in control, unfortunately. I wonder why she's so sure about that. Like, what if Cecil says no, you know? You don't, I mean, every time you try to bring it up, he like drops the conversation. What if he doesn't want to take over the family business even? You don't know that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, plan failed already there. Lucy, you know what I mean? Let's girl boss it some more. Let's go back to the drawing board. Hi, Autumn, what's up? If I recall correctly, Elm's family owns a series of retail establishments. I have no idea what business they're in exactly, but if he has some connections... Emerose is also meeting with the university board soon. If I'm not mistaken, there are several prominent businessmen among the board, including at least 2 wholesalers and a renowned doctor. Perhaps I could convince Emerose to arrange a meeting with at least one of them. Wait, Lucy! Oh, he got a new drip. Cecil, what are you doing back there? Oh, I like her pearl necklace too. She wasn't wearing that before. Well, to start, I saw that stray cat that's been wandering around campus lately. And then by the time I tried to get your attention, you've gotten this far ahead of me. You know, that cat won't pay you any mind no matter how many slices of roast chicken you leave out for it. Damn! I wasn't trying to bribe it. I just wanted to show you, but you move so fast when you get lost in thought. I've not much choice in the matter. Thanks to the recent events, I'll have to sort it out swiftly enough. You definitely will. You have all the merchants in the city begging to partner with you before long. And someday I'll be saying the same to you. This doesn't come as easily for me as it does for you, Lucy. He smiles, but I know him too well to leave it at that. He's been so unsure of himself lately, but Cecil's more capable of keeping pace with me, even if he doubts it himself. He was up rather late last night, though. It's not often I see him so easily distracted either. I'll have to ask him about it later. Cecil has been my best friend since we were children, and he always rushes to support me, even when it puts him in danger. I only hope he isn't wearing himself ragged trying to keep up with me now. The university gardens are always immaculate. Students and professors alike meander through its hedges, rushing between classes or taking leisurely strolls. It's also haunted if you believe the rumors spun from mistaking sightings of marble statues in the dead hours of the night. Good to know. 5 years prior, a series of vampire attacks terrified the campus and kept most from venturing out after dark. I suppose classroom rumors are a sign of Pre-Dux recovery from that incident. Oh. 5 years prior. Oh, I already read that. Instead of a ghost, however, I see a tall, pale face beneath the lilac blooms. Good. I need to catch him before class begins. Thank you. Who's following me? Autumn for following. Also, the music changed. Do you hear that? Hold on, I'm gonna make it louder. I kind of like it. It's like lo-fi-esque. Yeah, I like this. This is good. Are you admiring the flowers, or have you been waiting for us here? Oh, Lucy. Elm. He's one of the love interests, I think. I've shared a class with Elm for half a year now. Oh, yeah, definitely. Look at those flowers coming into view, bro. For half a year now, and he saved both CL and I countless headaches in that time. For all the expertise and wisdom kept in these hallowed halls, most of our professors are dead set on explaining things in the most obtuse and unreasonable ways imaginable. Elm has a keen talent for translating all of their theoretical jargon into a language anyone can grasp. His family has several holdings in retail business outlets, though now that I think more on it, I don't know much about what they do or where their money comes from. It's easy to forget details like that when we talk. He always listens intently, and he consistently surprising even our professors with his insights. Not that you'd know from the detached air about him. No matter what the situation, Elm can always set someone at ease, most often, I think, by taking much of their unease onto himself. Do you have a moment before the professor arrives? I'd like to speak with you about... I'm sorry. His voice is so brittle, it's usually hard to read any of his expressions, but right now he's clearly preoccupied. Not today. What? I'm not in a sound state today. Do you feel unwell? You look the part, no doubt. He shakes his head. Lucy, there's something I'll tell you later. Wait just a minute now. Before I can ask him what's on his mind, he ducks into the classroom and makes his way to a desk. Lucy, what was Elm saying? He seems out of sorts. I'm not sure. It's almost as if he was in shock. You don't think he's caught a summer cold, do you? I almost hope it's as simple as a passing sickness, but I never seen that heaviness in Elm's eyes before. Huh. Ah, the professor's on her way. Lucy, let's head inside. Yes. Oh, another one! Elm trudges ahead and sits down in the back corner of the classroom, far from his usual seat near CL and I. Damn, I may not get another chance to speak with Elm until after class. Asking about his family business can wait. I won't leave one of my friends languishing like that. Though I'll admit, it's often hard to read his expressions. Maybe it would be a bad idea to press him on anything now if he's feeling unwell. Is there a choice coming up? I don't know. I'm a save just in case. My nose wrinkles and I force myself to follow along with the professor's droning. Why Lucy and Elm? Why are you guys saying that in the chat? Yo. Finding Elm after class proves more troublesome than anticipated. He excused himself partway through the lecture and never returned. And now I've not an inkling of where he might be. I doubt he's avoiding me in particular, but it does seem as though he's avoiding everyone, in which case, why would he have come to class today at all? I sigh and pace through the campus gardens, borrowing shade from the hedgerows as I consider whether I should keep up the search for or let Elm be and turn my focus elsewhere. Perhaps I ought to reach out to another jeweler, though if Douglas calls on me again... Well, he's had his chance. Oh, Lucy, is there another villain in need of reprimand? I don't know what voice to give Amber Rose, to be honest. I think he's like a rich boy? I'm not really sure. It's nothing that drastic. I'll have it all sorted out before long, provided that my brother doesn't fuss over me every step of the way. He's showing his concern as best he knows how. You finished your classes for the day, haven't you? I happen to have a free moment, and I was planning to take a walk into town. I'd be delighted to have you join me. Emerald offers me his elbow and space beneath his parasol, a gentle but nonetheless insistent invitation. He's far from considerate than his husband. Honestly, Nemo could at least ask before showing up to herd me like a wandering goat. Oh! Wait, so Nemo is married to Amber Rose. So, and Amber Rose is the head master of this university? I think that's okay. Yeah, that's what's happening. I take Emero's arms and fall into step alongside the headmaster. Yep, okay, confirmed. As he walks beneath the university grand archway and toward the center of the town. I was considering that myself. I won't refuse the company though. I can't stay for long. You won't have to worry on my account. I have only a few moments to spare before my next meeting as well. It's been considerably mild of late, though I hear there's a storm coming in from off the coast. Perhaps I should ask Nemo to fix the window shutters instead of tending to the loose floorboards in the storage hall. Your last meeting went well, I take it? Was it the entire board of trustees or just their representatives? My, Lucy, you're more perceptive than some of the faculty. Ambrose closes his eyes and smiles softly, which I've not come to know is a sign of resignation. I know he would rather we wander aimlessly and take this time to distract ourselves from business, but I can't let even a narrow possibility slip away. Yes, the board met earlier than usual. The storm I mentioned will make the roads unfit for travel, and many of them have business outside of Lamberberg. I don't doubt that you're curious about the manner of business they each maintain, but I can already assure you that they won't be receptive to your ideas, at least not yet. And how could you know? Oh wait, no, that's Lucy. And how could you know that for certain? I may not have graduated yet, but if any of them have any good sense, it isn't a matter of good sense, Lucy. Emerald sighs as we turn into the busy town square, the sun battered awnings and ivy-covered eaves keeping us in the cool shade. If I thought any of them might be a viable business partner or even simple investors, I would have introduced you already. In truth, most of them are keenly interested in the prospect of a cure for vampirism, and their interest hasn't waned over the years. And that's exactly why I'd like to speak with them. They're each from well-established and influential families with ties to industry across the region, are they not? Oh, oops, did I skip? In truth, most of them are keenly, oh no, I did not. Okay. And that's exactly why I'd like to speak with them. Oh, wait, did I go back? Oh, I could go, if I scroll, I can go back. That's cool. Lucy, they are interested, but they are even more cautious of anyone proffering a miracle treatment. It's too soon. I promise you that I'll arrange a meeting with the head of the Tradesmen's Guild once you have more momentum. But rushing now would only make them skeptical of your ideas. Do you really think I couldn't convince them? I'm living proof after all. What room could they have for doubt when I'm testing the cure on myself? Amber Rose pauses in the center of the street and the crowd parts around us, as if we're standing on a small boulder in the middle of a rushing stream. One of our trustees is also the head of a trade guild. Years ago, his only son took ill while accompanying him on a business trip. The child had a weak constitution already, and his father feared that this new wasting cough and fever might kill him. In his desperation, he listened to doctors and healers, apothecaries, and even a few spiritualists who claim to have divined a prescription through automatic writing. His son's condition worsened, always seeming to improve only for his fever to soar even higher after each treatment. Desperation drives us to greater risks. Eventually, he agreed to let a surgeon perform an experimental procedure on his son, and the results were not good. Aww. His son survived, and eventually doctors discovered a tincture that could help treat his condition, but that surgery left him without the use of his right hand. To this day, the boy's father blames himself for his son's injury. Whether you're considering an unknown disease or an inconvenient blemish or even something largely beneficial like vampirism, people like him are too cautious of any potential miracle cure to throw support behind anything unproven. I wouldn't. That's hardly the same. I have proof, and you and others can vouch for its authenticity. The truth won't be enough if they don't have the heart to trust it. The gentle smile on his face is so infuriating. Unlike my brother, Ambrose is always forthcoming and carefully crafts his arguments. He's always respected my ambition and my talents, which is why I hate it when he's right about things like this. The old merchants and business owners aren't often swayed by proof alone, Lucy. They want to see the flow of people and markets before they act. It's not enough that medicine works. They also want to make sure people will trust it, doctors will prescribe it, and suppliers can procure it. Is this a vampire romance ultimate or something? Yes, it is. It is. We are a vampire, and we're taking medicine that will make us human eventually. I wonder if it would be worthwhile to stop taking my pills, just long enough to use my blood arts again. All I need to do is prove that I'm a vampire, and then... No, I need something more reliable than that. I can feel my grip tighten around Ambrose's arm, but he says nothing. Relaxing again, I take a step forward, and he matches my pace. Someday, I'm certain it will be as simple for a vampire to become a human as it is to alter the physical changes of adolescence. The trustees are all people of great influence, and I promise that in time they will believe you. There's no need to rush. You'll make progress faster if you just pace yourself. Thank you for your advice and your concern. I'm more than comfortable at this pace, however. I'll have the groundswell I need to speak with bigger investors soon enough. Ah, speaking of which, have you not heard anything from Douglas yet? He seems worried. Far more than I expected he would be overhearing about a missed appointment. Unfortunately, I can't afford such sympathies right now. Not a word, but it hardly matters. I won't waste any more ink on unreliable cats like him. That's concerning. I could understand if he didn't contact you yesterday evening, but to ignore you into the afternoon... Perhaps he's taken ill? We aren't far from his offices if you'd like to stop in. A waste of time, I expect. Thank you, though. Damn. I'm ungrateful in spite of the circumstances. Ambrose could hardly bear any blame for a jeweler's negligence, though I'm sure he feels some responsibility since he was the one who vouched for Douglas as a trustworthy prospect. I'll consider it once I've taken care of other business. I'm sure it's a simple misunderstanding. A bell chimes above to mark the quarter hour. Ambrose waits patiently as the sound fades into the dim of the town square, then gestures back toward the university. It seems out of time, unfortunately. I've got another appointment soon, so I'll be heading back. Are you returning to campus as well? No, I think not. I'll see you tonight at dinner, Ambrose. Of course, it should be a crown of lamb. Provided I'm not held up by the faculty. Goodbye for now. He bowed! He did a little bow! Ambrose turns, and I let the shadow of his parasol slip away, leaving me in the sun. He's cool. And I'm also glad, every time when I play, like, ultimate games that, like, specialize in certain things, I feel like I'm being educated. Like, for example, for, what game was it that taught me about... I gotta remember. One of these games like taught me about like restaurants. I think it was like Tusho X Alice. There was like this one part in the route that taught me about like making sweets in restaurants. And I was like, oh, I'm taking notes. And this game is now teaching me about business. Like, yay. I love when ultimate games get just a little bit knowledgeable, you know? The backgrounds are so pretty, right? I think so too. Hi, Holly, what's up? He's dead, isn't he? That's what I'm thinking, too. Like, there's no way. If Ambrose trusts him that much, he's dead. The afternoon crowds have filled the town square with laborers and trade folks, winding through the bakeries and market stands on their lunch break. Carriage wheels and newly shod horses leave a dull staccato in the air as they pass one another in the streets. Shop bells ring one after another. A large fountain babbles conversationally to the people gathered around it, and in the distance a small crowd applauds. I consider that Douglas' office is on the far end of the square, but the sound of the violin catches my ear. Is that what warranted the applause I heard? This is kind of good. I don't know what it is, but it's like... I can't really put it, but it's not like a regular violin tune. Anyways, continuing. There's something both immediately familiar and uncanny. I've never heard this song before, and certainly never in this place. But the melody feels eerily nostalgic. I suppose a skilled performer can evoke all sorts of emotions in their audience. Let's see what sort of person this fiddler is. The quick triplets and rich vibrato echo through the plaza, but actually, seeing past the gathered crowd is becoming a hassle. It's all right. You know what it is? It's giving Snake Charmer a little bit. Those 3 notes, da-da-da-da, like that they do. A group of taller men, in particular, stand right in the middle, and I have half a mind to drag them to the back of the audience. There are people behind you, you dolts. Damn. MC's quick with these little, like, quick, like, not comebacks, but, you know, like, I don't know what to call it, like slaps, like tiny little slaps. I reach forward to pry the wall apart when the fiddler strikes a sharp chord and leaps up onto the fountain's edge. Oh, they're masked. They raise their violin up and their fingers dance across its neck. The audience claps to keep time. A bubbling warmth rises in my chest, and I can't look away. They wear a mask, but they're clearly quite handsome. Girl, you never know. You never know. You don't know what's behind that mask. But I get it. It's like that effect. They could be really handsome. The audience, what did I say? Their slick back hair shines in the afternoon sun, and their hands cradle their instruments with a fierce delicacy. And the sound, I don't know where they were trained, but they were bursting with energy as if they can't help but draw their bow across the strings. It's enchanting. I've attended a fair number of performances in my life, from full-chambered orchestras to unaccompanied singers in a roadside tavern. It's been years since I've heard a performance so desperate and impassioned as this. It's almost as if they're grasping for breath, and that violin is the only air they can breathe. Finally, the middle-aged man bearing my path steps aside, and I move a bit closer to the front for a better look at this masked fiddler. Whoa, okay. Oh wait, no, it's not new text, it's just another paragraph. Our eyes meet for a moment behind their mask, and their bow hangs for half a beat too long, and they hop back down to finish the song. Before I can find them again, a round of applause rings out, and the people around me plead for an encore. Yippee! The claps of an instrument case click shut. Are they leaving already? I need to get their name, at the very least. A musician with that level of passion and talent could do better than busking in the square. She's gonna sign him up. She's gonna start a talent agency, new business idea. And I wouldn't mind hearing them play privately for me either. Okay, girl. Oh, wait! There's no path forward. Eventually, the crowd breaks and people start dispersing in a dozen directions. By the time I reach the fountain's edge, the masked fiddler is gone. I sigh to catch my breath. Dang. That's likely for the best. I almost let myself get carried off track. Handsome musicians are a hazard in many ways. She funny, bro. Michael Myers? Is that what the mask was giving? I don't know. Maybe. Take off the mask. Yeah. Yes, clearly. Yup. He's very handsome, clearly. Hola. I wonder what the business prospects are like for the agents and representatives of popular performers. Aren't you already taking enough work as it is? I'm more capable than I was when I was a child, Nemo. More capable of running yourself ragged, maybe. I glower at him. And what have you come into town to fetch? Nemo lifts up a bundle of meat wrapped in a butcher's paper. A crown, apparently. Come on, I'll walk you back unless you still got business here. No. I sigh and let my shoulders sink. Let's go out then. I'm getting hungry. You know this is for dinner, right? Don't worry, I'm not gonna eat your husband's crown. Damn. Nemo holds his arm out, and I take it as we move through the din of afternoon traffic. In a short while, we will be back to the apartment, and I'll need to start drafting more inquiries and preparing samples. I'll consider what Ambrose said earlier. If I can secure a reliable supply of gems, then I can prove the treatment's effectiveness more easily. The evening will pass uneventfully, and by week's end, I'll forget all about Douglas's audacity and insult. But that calm, unremarkable future doesn't come to pass. As we wind through the square and emerge from an alley, I catch a glimpse of the building where Douglas keeps his office. 5 police officers are gathered around the open doorway in a huddle, while other officers filter in and out of the narrow hallway. Uh-oh. Stray phrases catch my ear. One officer says he's been here for a few hours, and another says something like, already going cold. They killed him! They had to kill him! There's no way! I found him earlier today, possibly since he's dead. Damn! A carriage rumbles past and drowns the rest of the phrase. A chill sweeps over me, and my feet pull me toward the ominous chatter. No reassurance or comfort are waiting for me in that office, nor in overhearing the officers outside. Even so, I walk closer. A rush of foot traffic floods into the street as passengers head for the train platform. In that chaos, it's easy to slip away and duck behind an oncoming carriage before Nemo can even notice I've gone. Clock chimes at the top of the hour, a moment before I reach the doorway. Outside, the police are still chattering about how hard it will be to cordon off the area and turn away gawkers. They don't seem too concerned with all the people passing in and out of the main building, though. It's almost embarrassing that I can slip in so casually without drawing a second glance. Douglas's office occupies the ground level of a fairly new yet imposing building close to the center of Laurenburg. See, if neighbors have heard anything first, then finish documenting the scene. Okay. Yes, sir! And you there, check the locks on all the windows for tampering. This one's looking a lot like the Fairfield case. I heard an officer's voice coming from an open doorway to my left. It continues, but I can't follow his words anymore. My eyes fall to a prone, rigid form draped across a sofa near the back of the room. One of the officers steps aside, and the face of a corpse stares back at me with gaunt and glassy eyes. The officer's chatter confirms my fear. The man I was supposed to meet yesterday evening is lying dead in his office with blood caked around his lips and staining his tie. Someone there? Clear up! This is a crime scene! No gawkers! My legs move before I can think clearly. Douglas is dead? How? When? The nearest doorknob is already in my hand. Good, it's unlocked. My shin slams into a low table and I tumble backwards into an armchair. The sunlight stings my eyes, as if I hadn't suffered insult enough, and then my vision adjusts. I've often felt the unnerving sensation of reliving memories in a dream. It never happened to me in the waking world, though. Damn. The grandfather clock chimes, echoes through the room. I glance outside and the sun is still high above the rooftops. I clench the hem of my dress. I'm back in the same seat I occupied less than a day ago, waiting to finalize a business deal with the man now lying dead less than a dozen feet away. My mind swirls, and my memories fray. Was Douglas already dead by the time I arrived last night? Did he die while I waited here, never realizing? On the way in, I saw 5 coppers, and inside, 3, maybe 4 others? My breath catches in my throat. Natural deaths, no matter how tragic, don't draw this level of scrutiny. Murder. I like to be overreaching and leaping to unreasonable conclusions, but I can still recall the odd figure I chased through the alleyways last night. Did they see me? Did they know I was there? Was Douglas being killed as I sat in this chair? Kinda rhymed. Sorry. Stray syllables sleek out of the neighboring room. but I can't hear anything complete. If I press my ear to the wall, though... Who's there? I tear my face away from the wall and grip the arms of the chair so firmly that my nails nearly rip the whole upholstery. Oh. Oh, my apologies. I wasn't aware anyone else had an appointment today. This is crossing over into the absurd. Why is Elm here, and why has he changed his outfit completely since he was in class? The cake killed him, bro. Please, not the cake. I hope you're not been waiting long. No, I only arrived moments ago. Good, I can pour some tea if you'd like. No, thank you. If I may ask... Go right ahead. What exactly are you doing here? What? Oh, he looks so different in his, like, regular model here. Elm smirks. He never smirked. At least not that I've seen. I don't know what it is, but the CG makes him way more taller than this art right here. I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage, if I may. Wait, Elm? Question mark? Wait, what? This is not Elm. Wait, what? He reaches forward, and before I can stop him, he's lifting my fingers to his lips. Oh! Elm? Ah, you've met my brother. I'm sorry for the confusion. Brother? Elm never mentioned him having a brother, let alone a twin. Why wouldn't he have brought that up? Despite the circumstances, I'm charmed to make your acquaintance. I'm Rowan, currently the head of the family's business and estate of this morning. At a glance, he looks just like Elm, but the air around him is completely different. Oh. From the slight smirk tugging at his lips to the confidence in his posture, he holds himself with incredible assertiveness and poise. I allowed him to take my hand in greeting, but I can barely keep track of what he says. Elm is his brother? Mr. Douglas was their father? That would explain Elm's behavior earlier. He must be grief-stricken, but meanwhile his brother doesn't betray a trace of sadness. Why didn't Elm mention his twin to me? And why is Rowan taking all of this in such an easy stride? Pleased to meet you, Rowan. My name's Lucy, and I'm sorry for your loss. It's unfortunate, yes, but I already had time to grieve. More importantly, I've been settling my father's outstanding business, and I do hope you're still interested in pursuing our options together. Are we? Are we for real? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. At that, he closes his eyes around mine and flashes a reckless grin. How brazen. I can see he takes after his father in that regard. Ooh. I'm relieved that you came by. I saw one of your recent letters among my father's papers, and I was hoping to run into you eventually so that I might apologize in person and hear your proposal. I'm relieved to hear it about your father. Rowan shakes his head, sullen but not unsettled. My father put his work first at all times. Even to the detriment of his health, he kept unreasonable hours and regularly worked himself to the point of exhaustion at his desk. So in a way, I've been expecting this to happen almost every day for years. Damn! Does he not care about his dad? Oh, shoot, okay. A colleague of ours also died under suspicious circumstances recently, so I'm sure the coppers are just taking every precaution. I think my father was always in the greatest danger from himself. My condolences. A writhing, coiling knot rises in my stomach. I'm still reeling from Douglas's death and the prickling unease left by my questions about Elm and Rowan. Is their family business even stable right now? Is Rowan trustworthy? I don't think he is. He really doesn't care about anything. That's not really trustworthy to me. I'll have to sort this out later. At present, I need to know exactly why the police are here in such force. I doubt that figure fleeing the scene last night was just as a harmless bystander. If you have anything in order, shall we continue discussion of our potential partnership? Unfortunately, the day after tomorrow is the earliest I could give you the attention you and your ideas deserve. The day after tomorrow? That's acceptable. Thank you for understanding. Even though I fully expected my father to work himself into an early grave, I'll need a bit more time to make arrangements for his burial. Okay. Sure. Rowan smiles easily, but despite his confidence and aplomb, he can't hide the crooked knot in his tie or stray loose buttons on his cuffs. I wonder if he's taking his father's death worse than he appears? Though I still don't see why the police would be so interested in a jeweler's natural death, no matter how untimely. You have my sympathies. What time should I meet you then? You're pretty forward, aren't you? Know. I'm not fond of delays unless they're absolutely necessary. Girl, his dad died. I think that's unnecessary. Like, what? A woman of ambition and charm. Let's meet at my family's manor after breakfast. It's close to the university and we'll waste less time stepping aside for the coppers. They're so indifferent about it. MC's cold? Yeah, like they're both cold. Perfect. I'll look forward for formalizing our partnership then. As will I, Miss Lucy. Rowan bows deeply, raising his face to meet my eyes and flashing that reckless grin of his once more. He certainly inherited his father's sense of flattery. In the window just behind the grandfather clock, I noticed Nemo searching for me among the afternoon crowds. I'm not feeling at ease with the police lingering so close by either, so it's time I head back. Thank you again. It's a pleasure to meet you. In spite of the circumstances, I'll take my leave. Of course, said we'll speak again soon. She kind of gives me a bit of Riddle. I don't know. I feel like Riddle would still care. I wonder if he took personal issue with how much his dad worked. I think he did. I think any kid, when if their parents overwork and they don't get to see them a lot, they would take it personally. It's hard not to. I leave the small meeting room quietly, then hurry down. Oh wait, no, he's not a kid. He should know better. Yeah, never mind. I leave the small meeting room quietly, then hurry down the hall, slip behind the coppers, and grab Nemo by the arm to pull him into an alley. Hey, Lucy, what's going on? Where'd you disappear to? Douglas's office. And you couldn't have just told me where you were going? Something caught my attention. Did you notice the suspicious figure I chased through the alleys last night when you found me? Yeah, because that was me. Were you trying to catch a burglar to pass the time? That was you? Well, in any case, it wasn't a burglary. In fact, this whole affair might be more involved than I anticipated. We were chasing the murderer? And we didn't even know? Or we were being chased by the murderer? I don't know. Nemo can be overprotective at times, but he knows when to listen, and he's fairly good at it when the mood strikes him. And so he listens as I tell him everything I saw, the condition of Douglas's body, Rowan's sudden appearance, and the murmurs I heard from the police. They wouldn't be putting this many coppers on the scene if they thought Douglas's death was natural, would they? Probably not. I heard something else too. I look up at Nemo and he returns a pensive glare. I know that look pretty well. He's warning me not to dive headfirst into something dangerous. What was it? I heard a detective mention that another jeweler by the name of Fairfield was found dead last week. I feel my breath catch. I know that this could be a coincidence. Maybe the coppers are leaping to conclusions and there's no connection, but if there is, and if two prominent jewelers in Larmenberg died within a week of one another, who could be responsible and why? We talk about possibilities and contingencies all the way home. Not that Nemo knows how to navigate business with the requisite delicacy. We part at the university gates, and for the next several hours until nightfall, I try and fail to find any trace of Elm. He gone. He disappeared. What an exhausting day. It feels as though I woke up a full week ago, and I've been running without a rest since. But everything that happened though, I find that there's one in particular that won't leave my mind. Okay, this is where we choose. Do we like Cecil? What worries could be on Cecil's mind, obviously. Elm seems so distraught. I want to check in on him tomorrow. Rowan and his oddly relaxed demeanor. What was he thinking? That handsome fiddler in town square. Okay, here's my issue though. We don't know much about Elm and we don't know much about the fiddler. So like those are like two completely things. But we know a lot about Cecil, and we kind of know Rowan, not really, but like his personality at least. So what are you guys feeling? What are you guys feeling? I feel like it's way too early to decide, but we have to make the choice anyways. For the Fiddler? Yeah, you guys did have a reaction to Fiddler, actually. Fiddler? Okay, we got 2 votes for Fiddler. Any objections? Or forever hold your peace. Do. Oh, hold on. What did you guys say? Honestly, I'm curious about the Fiddler. Okay. Fiddler! That fiddler in the town square was so enchanting in the midst of a tumultuous day. That brief moment when I listened to the performance was a desperately needed respite. I'm shocked that I'd never seen someone so skilled around the city before. Have they only arrived in Laurenburg recently? Can I actually go back? Oh, yeah, I can. So I can, like, save here if I want to. Perfect. I'm shocked that I've never seen blah blah blah. I haven't heard of any new performing troupes or orchestral companies passing through. I suppose they could be a lone traveler though. That mask they wear isn't common either. I wonder if... No, that's enough. I can't wait. I can't while away the night daydreaming about handsome musicians, for heaven's sake. Bruh. If I'm fortunate, perhaps I'll hear their music again. For now, though, I should rest and recover from today's events. Thinking any further will only tie my brain into knots, and I've not the time to untangle that. And more than that, even these thoughts can't keep the ghastly image of Douglas's lifeless face from intruding into my memory. Sleep well. Sleep will help. Yes, I'll sleep. And I can only hope that tomorrow is a calmer day. Okay, nostalgia can be an insidious thing. It's all too easy to hold fondness for memories when the pain of the moment dulls and you can remember only the simple sweetness and thrill. On a particularly bright summer morning, I catch myself getting wistful as I think about the time I spent darting through empty classrooms on campus, hiding out in hay lofts and scouring back alleys while I searched for answers, in spite of any excitement I felt 5 years ago when Cecil and I planned stakeouts to search for my parents' killers. What? Okay, that's important. My memory of that time is still stained with tears. Whenever I feel a nostalgic pang as I pass by a classroom and recall that fun I had roaming free in Laurenburg, I remember how many nights I spent crying myself into a restless sleep. Oh, I don't even remember my parents properly, and just learning of their deaths devastated me. Tears and clenched fists and barred fangs and reckless adventure all led me to an even more painful answer in the end. Grief never follows a convenient course, and there are rarely simple villains whose dispatch will close all your open wounds. Elm and Rowan lost their father just hours ago, a father they both knew and spoke to every day. No, perhaps that's not right. I don't actually know anything about Elm's relationship to his family, do I? You know nothing about that man, girl. And all the time we've known one another, he never mentioned that he had a twin or his father was a prospective business partner of mine. I'm sure I mentioned the deal to him at least once while we were studying after class. And all the time we've known one another, he never... Rowan's face keeps coming into mind as well. He was charming, inviting even. If I hadn't seen his father's corpse moments before we met, I might have even had butterflies in my chest. Girl. That familiar mixture of confusion, excitement, and mystery on the edge of terror fills in the space between my thoughts again. Sitting at the front of a classroom, I can't keep the whirl of memory and curiosity from distracting me. If Rowan was so unfazed and moved on so quickly from his father's death, was their relationship really that bad? If so, then why is Elm so distraught? Even now, I can tell he's barely paying any attention to the professor, though if he's close to his father, why has he never mentioned either his family or his sibling? Of course, the most salacious possibility could be true. I already entertained and dismissed the notion that Rowan has killed his father to take over the family business, and that Elm was living in fear of what might happen to him in the aftermath. It was my first and immediate suspicion after leaving Douglas's office, but Nemo and I both agreed that it was unlikely, at least. If Rowan were the killer, he could have chosen a far more convenient time and method that would draw less suspicion onto himself. I'm not fully convinced that he is innocent, of course, but I like to believe him. Perhaps I'm just extending goodwill to him because of my concern for Elm.
That will be all for today. We'll be discussing the next treaties on currency exchange later this week, and you may call upon me if you have any questions in the meantime. Dismissed.
Thank you, Professor. Elm, wait there.
Oh, zoom in.
Yesterday I met your twin, Rowan. A twin brother? Truly? Elm, why did you tell us? Does he attend school here too? I didn't. There's been a lot happening lately. Yes, I heard about your father.
Yo, this is awkward.
I'm sure you've had your reasons, but why did you keep all that a secret from us? I may be entering into business with your brother, and I want to know... I stopped suddenly, and the rails of my thoughts vanished beneath me. What am I expecting of him now? What is it that I really want to know? I don't know. Looks exhausted and anxious. There's a miserable icy weight in the pit of my stomach. And why do I feel so incensed? It's nothing worth mentioning. We should get going. There's another class coming in soon and... is that true? Wait a moment, Lucy. Do you mean that scoundrel who stood up you up as Elm's father? I'm sorry. I need to go. There's an appointment and... Oh my god. Cecil. Why would you say that? Wait. I don't think he knows that his dad is dead. Elm backs away as he stammers out his words, his eyes never meeting my own. I reach to grab his shoulder, but he's even quicker than I expected. He leaves Cecil and I standing in the midst of the other students filtering through the classroom door like water over a weir. Let's follow him. I'm worried about where he might wander. I think I'll leave him to you, Lucy. Cecil gives me a sheepish smile and ducks away. I forgot something earlier, so I'll stop by town and fetch it. Don't wait up for me. What did you forget? I can lend you my books if you need. I don't think Cecil is even listening by now. Is he anxious about examinating Elm's family secrets? Okay. He hurries away, waving an apology as he goes. Wait, Cecil! He doesn't wait though. There is a shoot of his knuckles that closes off any room for doubt. He's absolutely hiding something, and knowing Cecil, he's liable to get in over his head before he realizes he should ask for help. Well, I'm not about to let him leave at that. Accepting that I can see Elm already making his way into the hall, if I lose sight of him now, I may not be able to find him again until the day after tomorrow. Ooh. Elm or Cecil, bro? Elm or Cecil? I feel like we can handle Cecil later. We should go for a little Elm, I'm feeling like. Right? Alright. I'm gonna press it. As much as I like to know what Cecil's rushing off so suddenly, I know he'll tell me in time. Elm, though. He should be only a few paces down the hall, and he isn't even walking quickly, but every step toward him feels like I'm walking through lapping waves, I mean. I'm anxious. I was too focused to notice it sooner, and now I've only got the span of a few yards to think of what I'll say. I need to know why he kept his twin existence a secret, but what do I say to someone who lost their father just 2 nights past? Wait, where's he gone? We already lost him. It's a failure. I only hesitated for a moment. He's probably on his way back to his manor, right? Elm? Elm? No reply, though I expected as much. I'm not in shoes built for sprinting, but I can manage 100 yards at least. I recall the directions Rowan gave me well enough. I should be able to follow the roads there to catch Elm along the way. Unless he's running at a breathless pace, I should at least be able to catch sight of him before he shuts himself away. I can easily keep up his moderate pace for longer if I need to, but I don't. There's no reason to keep running. Did I read that twice? I feel like I did. Ooh. I move past a pair of sullen, downcast faces beneath a blooming lilac arbor, and I stop. I'm not out of breath, but I still feel my pulse quicken. I sit down beside the stoic marble bust of one of the university's founders on a short pedestal, and I look up through the vines. Perhaps Amberrose is right. There are things I might miss if I rush too quickly straight ahead. The flowers here are lovely. Oh! He was just sitting. Okay. They only bloom for a day or two. They'll be gone once the storm passes through. Beside me, Elm's face is just as graven and dark as the statues keeping watch throughout the garden. His voice doesn't carry a tremor, and it's softer than usual, almost wary. A shame, then. I'm sure Amberrose wouldn't mind if he cut a few to keep before the wind carries them off. Whether the headmaster minds or not, I don't think your brother would let you steal the garden's shears again. The next thought doesn't form completely in my mind. Elm and I both linger uncomfortably for a moment. Elm tenses briefly as I reach up. For now, I'll have to do without asking about Rowan. I pinch the stem of a lilac high on the arbor, twist it stiffly, and snap it off the vine. I offer it to Elm, rightly proud of myself. I didn't need to steal anyone's shears. Fortunately. Seems you don't, Lucy. As he's smiling, he's smiling. At least a little, which is significant for someone like him. So Elm takes in a slow breath. You heard that my father died the night before last. Yes, I'm sorry. No, it's not. I didn't expect it. I thought it wouldn't happen for decades more. Oh, my father wasn't the most present man. He worked from before sun up to long after sundown, week upon week. He especially threw himself into work over the past several years. I always thought he would work away his grief in time. I wanted to talk to him. It was today that we were supposed to meet. You don't have to say more than you'd like. If you do want to talk about your father, though, I've got a better set of ears than the founders. I tilt my head towards the marble bust beside us, and Elm chuckles lightly. We made him laugh! Let's go, we're in! They're attentive at least. With some effort, Elm rises to his feet and accepts the lilac I plucked as he does. Thank you, Snowflake Snowy Heart, for the sun. The sight of him bringing the petals up to his nose, smiling at the scent, and then pasting the flower in his breast pocket is unexpectedly beautiful. I'm sorry, I've been avoiding you and Cecil lately. Would you like to walk with me for a while? What? Oh yes, by all means. Both kids were like, yeah, he's gonna work himself into an early grave. Yeah, it had to be really bad, bro. Thank you for the flower and coming to find me. I hope you didn't expect I'd let you languish here on your own. Cecil would have come with me too, but he had something urgent to attend. Something which I'm going to ask him about tonight. Why did he rush off like that? And these vines are so old and well tended. I doubt even a hurricane could stop them from blooming year after year. Haha, if only it were that easy for us. I can hear the bitterness pulling down Elm's quiet laughter. We walk on through the garden, and soon enough the university gates and into town. I take Elm's arm once we're in the midst of afternoon crowds. He's always a little stiff in these moments. I think he's never been accustomed to human touch. He's told me that he doesn't dislike it in theory, but when anyone else touches his arm or shoulder, it makes him keenly aware of his own body in a way he's rarely pleased with. I suppose I can understand. I've heard some people experience this when they turn into vampires and suddenly have heightened awareness of themselves, including any misgivings or anxieties they might have. To be a vampire with body insecurities. Oh, that must be a nightmare. In Elm's case, though, I always wondered if it wasn't just that he spent so much time in his own mind that he rarely gives his body a second thought. The time slips by us slowly as if we're swimming against its flow, walking slowly as the sun drops towards the rooftops of Laurenburg. Once 3 summers passed, Cecil and I walked with Elm through these streets. I forget if we even had a goal or if we were just enjoying a carefree afternoon, browsing the storefronts and window displays. We stopped by a clockmaker, one of those old shops with nailed windows and a faded sign above the door. The brass handle on its entrance was smooth and worn from the weight of the thousands of hands. Elm stood there transfixed, and his singularity focused on an open pendulum clock with its shifting gears. A small city moved around its base, with porcelain carriages and ladies beneath lace parasols shifting at each quarter hour. That's cute. Look at it, you two. He barely spoke above a whisper. Isn't it wondrous to see every part laid out and fitted together so finely? Cecil eagerly agreed, and the two spent a fair while excitedly chattering about the marvels of precision and engineering, though Elm didn't seem as taken with the fine embellishments. Rather, the decoration of each piece, Elm stared at the whole mechanism as if they were gazing at the night and mapping every star. It's laid out and plain to see, every piece and part in harmony. You can almost hear his words from all those years past, as clear as the chime of that clock. He's certainly a strange fellow, but a reliable friend and a steady presence. Perhaps that's why seeing him so shocked has left me unnerved as well. Up ahead of us, a young couple walks away from an alleyway stall with absolute glee. A middle-aged man with a brilliant sapphire necklace and matching cufflinks is waving goodbye to his last customers and beckons Elm over with the same motion. His table is full of rings and pendants, all set with enormous gems, which is why I'm confident he's a thief or a counterfeiter. Damn! Ha 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 ha! Yes, welcome! You two seem to be enjoying yourselves, so why not get something for your beau there? My jaw nearly drops, but mostly because of the quality of the gems in front of me. There's a topaz nearly the size of my thumb and without a single impurity. I would, but I forgot my wallet. A blatant lie. And why did he think I was the beau? Oh, come on now. You might think think these are prince treasures, but I assure you they are more reasonable than you expect. You see, sir, madam, these are all reconstructed rubies. We concocted them in test tubes and grow them to tremendous size, all for less than a miner's monthly wage. Oh, lab grown. Lab grown. Thank you, but we'll be on our way. Reconstructed rubies? Ah, caught your eye? Yes, these are a marvel of modern scientific ingenuity. I'm familiar. I borrowed a book on the process if you'd like to see it. I'm back at the campus library. They are lovely. Oh no, it looks like he's taken with a pair of ruby hairpins and hasn't caught my meaning. Yes, indeed, a perfect pair of identical hairpins. See how finally the silver fleisure fits and braces the precise cut of the ruby like stars blossoming on a vine. A perfect gift for a lady with beautiful hair. Truly a lovely set. What did you say? They'd be lovelier if one of them wasn't fake. Damn, Lucy. I never really got the debate of like fake gems and real gems. Like, wouldn't you want like a lab grown gem? Because usually I think like, I don't know, I'm not really sure if this is true or not, but like we're kind of running out of like places to mine or stuff, and so eventually we're gonna have to depend on lab grown stuff. What game is this? It's in the title, Crimson Sea and the Emerald Sea and the Amaranth Moon. I forgot. Did I get the title? I got the title wrong. Okay. My bad. She's a savage. Yeah. She's high maintenance too, clearly. I thought I muttered under my breath too quiet for anyone, but anyone but Elm to hear, but judging by the color now draining from his face, I must have been louder than I intended. Aw, we embarrassed him. The vendor squints at me and leans far over from the table, thrusting the hairpins towards me. Young miss, why not try them on? No, thank you. Wait, the gems may be be synthetic, but the settings here are finely crafted. And that's a high grade of silver too. The ornamentation on one hairpin is worth more than he's charging for the pair. Lucy? Haha, I see. Yes, you're taken by their beauty as well, aren't you? Go ahead, try them on, I guarantee you, I've got the finest synthesized gems in all the city. No, you haven't. Damn! I'm better.
What was that now?
Just as I thought, his cheery demeanor only held up when he thought we might still be gullible. He traded out his honeyed flattery for a sailor's rasp. Unfortunately for him, I spent weeks reading the latest chemical research into synthesizing gems. Unfortunate for both of us, really. He's either a thief or a counterfeiter, and either way, he's drastically overestimating just how large synthetic gems can grow with the latest techniques. If I'm not mistaken, I think some of these pieces are worth far more than you're asking. You should get them appraised, otherwise I'm afraid you might be losing fortune. Thank you for the offer, but we'll be on our way. Elm has shaking out the distraction on his face, and he shoots a sharp glare at the vendor before we walk away.
Now you listen here!
Ow, he's grabbing my wrist with a vice grip. Uh-oh.
I heard you slander my goods. Apologize.
Should I apologize for being too generous? Clearly you don't know what you've got your hands on.
Let go of her. Elm immediately wrests the man's arm away and stands between the two of us.
It's amusing to see the older man shrivel under Elm's gaze. I didn't realize he could be so intense, if I'm being honest.
Ooh. Ooh.
They stare one another down for a moment before the vendor, or thief more likely, lowers his hand and steps back. Lucy, let's go. Yes, and quickly.
She stood on business, bro. She stood with all of her 10 toes.
Elm turns it down the street, and I glance back at the likely thief as we go. Elm, oh, I only noticed the glint of a blade when he's already rushing up to Elm. No! Watch out! The man lunges and Elm pushes me aside. A guttural shout fills the alley, and no! Elm staggers. He's holding the man back as he winces in pain. He looks over to me, and my blood chills until I hear the mechanical clatter of the knife falling against the pavement.
Apologize, you brats!
It's magnificent to watch in a way. Elm twists the man's wrist around, cinches an arm behind his back with those tacky sapphire cufflinks shining in the afternoon sun, and shoves him away with indifference. He makes it look almost effortless. He kicks the knife into an open sewage grate and hurries over to meet me. I'm desperate to get back to the shade of the campus gardens.
Wow, he took care of that quickly.
Huh. Well, that's more activity than I expected for one afternoon. Are you alright? Are you? I was worried about you being stabbed. I mean, you'd been stabbed. Elm glances down at himself as if he hadn't thought to check until now to see if there was blood blooming on his shirt. I seem to be fine. He had a poor grip. I'm not sure he wanted to hurt me or only intimidate us. He could have killed you. He deserves more than an imprint on the street on his face. And thank you. I may have antagonized him too much. Not that he had an even temper to begin with. Elm smiles back at me just for a moment before a thought distracts him and pulls his attention away. The street vendor couldn't possibly have had actual synthetic gems, could he? He's likely guilty of more than just a momentary outburst in any case. Those were lovely hairpins, though. Suspiciously lovely. Those gems were clearly fake, and he admitted it as much, but the settings were genuine. What was his game? I haven't heard of any schemes of that sort. Perhaps Ambrose or Nemo might have heard something about this? We're finally back in the campus gardens. Thankfully, the cool breeze and gentle shade are a relief. Elm's still quiet. He's been staring into the distance for some time now. Well, shall we return inside then? My family.
What?
I haven't had the best relationship with the rest of my family for a few years now. It's nothing intriguing or scandalous. My father devoted himself to his work above all else, as I said. And since my mother died, he's barely shared a living space with me, let alone a meal. And my brother... Elm's eyes dart away as if he can't help but glance toward the forest on the horizon. He's a fine person. His voice is clearly strained. There is more to this, of course, but I don't want to press him further right now. I may have been too aggressive in questioning him this morning, too focused on the shock of learning of Douglas's death and Elm's relation to him, too oblivious to the pain it was causing Elm. I'm sorry for not telling you about them. It's well within your right. You don't have to say anything more if you'd rather not. He nods slightly. For a time, we simply stand beneath the arbor of lilac blossoms. Tomorrow, I'll meet Rowan and discuss a potential business partnership. I should likely ask around about the strange vendor too, in case there's something stirring in the city's jewelry market. For now, however, I can't seem to focus on anything but the odd distance in Elm's face. It's as though he's gone away and left himself here while he visits a memory. A bell chimes and that signals the top of the hour, breaking us both free from the garden's calm. I've got to prepare for my meeting with Rowan still, and I'm curious to hear if there has been any word on why the coppers are so interested in Douglas's death. I've got another class, Lucy. His hand slides over mine as he gently pulls his arm away from me. Thank you for finding me here today. Of course. Oh, you see her? She's slightly blushing. She's blushing. I must look like an utter fool, being flustered so easily. Elm's voice is so soothing, I almost forgot myself for a moment. I got preparations of my own, so we'll speak again tomorrow. Take care, Elm. He nods, though I'm not sure he heard me completely. Alright. You gotta go. Okay, bye. Night falls quickly and then seems to stretch on for ages, though Amber Rose's dinner of cockavin and beyond my hurried scrawling on a ledger paper in the low lamplight. I fall into bed just before midnight with very little to show for the hours I spent poring over my correspondence with Douglas. My mind keeps wandering as I read his letters again, so much to Elm and his grief as to the strange suddenness of Douglas's death. And if that weren't enough to contend with, the odd wares from that vendor this afternoon still bother me a good deal. Focus. I need to clear my thoughts, or I won't be prepared for negotiations with Rowan tomorrow. I can only hope that sleep finds me soon. Soon. That was it? No way! Really? Thank you for playing the demo. Blah 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 of Crimson Waves on the Emerald Seed, Amaranthine Moon. If you want to help improve the final game, fill out our demo survey. It's anonymous and helps us a lot. And you can support their development by signing up for their newsletter or wishlisting the game on Steam. Either way, thanks for checking out our demo. No, come back! What? That was so quick. Well, that was it. This game is a demo, so if you are interested in playing it, I highly suggest for you to check it out. And you can play it on your browser too. It's on itch.io. All over already, right? Yeah. It's so quick. But if you guys wanted to explore the other options, because I'm not going to do them on stream here. If you want to explore the other options, you could play it on itch.io for yourself, and Steam. You can play it on Steam for yourself and check it out. It's good. I like it. I like where this is going. And I feel like this is like one of the few otomes where the MC could be a vampire from the start. So yeah. Like the game. Thank you for giving us joy and sadness. Yeah. Murder mystery though. I love a good murder mystery. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say about this game? No, not pretty much. I mean, I enjoy it, and I like the vampires. I want to know more about everybody though. Like I only got a few little tidbits. J-word, yeah. No. I bet you if you picked like the other options, we could have tried the other routes too for sure, but we didn't. I'm gonna play it off stream and find out. But yeah, that's just a little sneak peek. Just a little sneak peek. Thank you for the stream, Rose. No problem. Anyways, thank you, no problem. J word, yeah. Literally, my J word is exhausting. You don't have to apologize for being quiet, you know? In this economy, we need to be on our J words, bro. Get that bread. Get that moolah. Tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm gonna do date everything. I don't know. I really don't know how the game goes, but like I feel like we're getting close. Like the plot is like progressing close to the end of the game, or like the end of the route that I'm doing. So hopefully we'll do that. Rose, when will you play Roblox? Well, thank you for the stream. Good question. Probably next week, just because of everything that's happening. We have Jamil's birthday coming up, and we also have Blue Protocol. And we also have the game that I picked up last time, which is Wizard's Heart. I do want to attempt to like focus on Wizard's Heart. I'll probably do it next week. On the synthetic gems, I think it's probably like how if people found a way to make gold, it devalues gold just because it's suddenly not rare anymore. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's true. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but I never really understood. Maybe that's why people don't like lab-grown diamonds or anything. But like, if you know, diamonds aren't really that rare though. I heard like they use it in like materials all the time, and like steel and like stuff that you like strong stuff that you build it with. So yeah. Rose, would you ever play other games like Diabolical Lovers, Amnesia, Kagami no Wasabi if you have the game that is? So Diabolical Lovers, Rejet is notorious, and when I say notorious, I mean notorious for killing anybody on site if they decide to play Diabolical Lovers. On Minecraft, of course, not like literally, but you know what I mean, copyright wise. So like I would love to play Diabolical Lovers live here. I'll probably only have to be like Twitch, and I have to be like low-key, and I have to be like a secret meeting, you know what I mean? You cannot, like, I'm so serious. Like I remember there used to be so many Diabolical Lovers on YouTube, and then all of a sudden gone, wiped wiped off. I heard about Diabolical Lovers vampire game. Yeah, so Diabolical Lovers is like notorious for being known as like the vampire ultimate game with lots of yanderes, and I mean lots of yanderes. And it has some taboo topics too. Maybe not taboos, right? The right word, but like sensitive topics. Like they don't shy away from dark topics. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Wait, Rose, do you know what's happening to Roblox getting sued? Yes, I do know. That's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'm gonna watch the stream because I missed half the stream. By the way, I feel like I started pretty late, so it's not too much that you missed. But yeah, Vampire Boys, yeah. What was the other ultimate games you suggested? Amnesia. I'm recording and clipping that. So that you're talking about Amnesia, like memories, right? That I have like funny moments of whatchamacallit? Shin Iki. Forgot the third dude's name. The one that's green and it's Clover themed. Trent? Trey? No, not Trey. What? Trent? No. Green dude, and then Toma. Those four people. I already have a video out, Seraphine, so you can check them out on videos, and it'll just be me like clipped up part, because I don't know. I feel like it's like the safer way, and the most likely way they'll keep it on YouTube, just because like those ultimate games are like. And I do want you guys to see my reactions to the end for those type of ultimate games too. And then what was the last one? Kamigami no Wasabi. I love Kamigami no Wasabi. I watched the anime. It's like my favorite ultimate anime ever of all time. But it doesn't have any English. So if I'm gonna stream, that's kind of, and it's not like, and yeah, no, there's like no like fully translated like patch or anything like that, or nobody fully translated it into like a script. So like there's no way for me to play that unless I learn Japanese one day. One day, I don't know. Maybe I should work on that. Maybe I shouldn't. No, I should. I play ultimate games. I feel like once you really get into ultimate, at some point you're gonna reach a level where you're gonna be like, I need to learn Japanese. I need to learn how to read. There's too many ultimate games that I can't read. There's a lot of indie Japanese ultimate games that I can't read, and I want to read. So yeah, there's also like an option of machine learning, or not machine learning, like machine translation, because like there's software for that. But I'm like, I feel iffy about that because like it's like not guaranteed, you know. And some companies, I'm not gonna name any names, but like there's some localized companies that are doing machine translation, and their translations are not the best. You miss out on a lot of context, and context is important when you play a visual novel. So, you know. Yeah. Anyways, bye. I'm sorry about TWST anime soon. TWST, yes. We have one more month. One more month and 20 days. But who's counting, you know? Me. I'm counting. Okay. I'll end it here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Date Everything. And yeah, take care, guys. Bye.